Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast, In the Left State of Mind. My name is Ashmita, and I'm here with Rojeena.
Hi, welcome back.
This is our second episode together in our podcast. We're really grateful to have you all in our journey together. And we really wanted to thank everyone who provided feedback for our very first episode. All the feedbacks, including positive and negative, they help us grow, and we really appreciate everyone. So, moving on to this episode, we will be talking about culture shock.
Yeah, so that's the theme or like the title of our episode today. And if you guys don't know, we both are originally from Nepal. We were born and raised there and moved to US when we were 19. So what do you think like culture shock means to you? Or like what was your experience like, Ashmita?
So, to put in like an easier term, I would say, like that you feeling that you get when you're surrounded in like new customs, new norms, and like the ways of doing new things. So, that is what culture shock would be for me.
Definitely, yeah. I think that's how I would word it as well. You know, like when you're into a new place or like when you move to a new state or new country, and then you are not used to the culture or the language or anything, the customs and traditions, which is different from your own upbringing, then that would mean like culture shock. You're like
Right.
shocked,
Right.
like
I think the first, I guess like the main section of the culture shock that I got was from food. Like everything food related was really shocking to me. I mean, it's really obvious that the food is going to be different, but I feel like some of the lifestyle on like how they, deal in restaurants and stuff were really shocking. Did you feel the
true.
same way or?
Yeah, yeah, it was I because I don't know. I think you also stayed in dorm when you first came to
Yeah,
US,
I
right?
did.
In
Yeah.
college, yeah. So I stayed in dorm too, and then the food portions there, I think I gained like the freshman 15 pounds as the term said, like when we were freshmen, I like had the university dining card, and then we used to go like 4 times in a day because we were not working, we were just classes, back to back classes, and then like dorm and hanging out with friends. And yeah, the food portion definitely was a shock to me, and also like the style of food, because we were raised eating like spiced foods, and then the foods here were so bland, like it had no taste at all, kind of. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So I
yeah, the
don't
portion would definitely be number one thing for me as well.
know.
The portion here is huge. Don't you think so?
Yeah, it
Especially
is.
with, have you seen the large Coca-Cola here?
Mm,
It's humongous. When I first
exactly.
started, like when I first was in dorm, I got addicted to Coke. It was just too much because it was like it came in such a big thing. And to be honest, it's cheaper than water.
It is. And also, yeah, water costs more than like sodas in here.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same in
Since you
Europe too.
also mentioned soda, like how we name stuff here is also different. What I got in shock was for chicken sandwich. I do want to mention that. And back in Nepal, we call it chicken burger. That was completely normal. When I wanted to order a chicken burger here, I was kind of laughed at. So it was like, oh, okay. So that was very shocking to me. So that would be our second point, how they name, like how you're supposed to order, basically.
Yes, like I think they have like a certain way of like ordering food, like you said, chicken burger, chicken sandwich, because I always thought just like you, sandwich is like burger, and then that's how my perception of like burger is. But then people here are like, oh, it's a sandwich, and I'm like even yeah, they put
Same
cheese.
bun, just a
Yeah,
different meat, different names. Like, okay,
exactly.
okay.
Yeah. And I think we kind of got used to it. We were still, I'm still like experiencing culture shock in different aspects, like social settings or like going out in restaurants, like, whatever term it is. But it's just we have kind of adjusted to the life here, and
Yeah.
it's kind of funny, right?
So sticking with the restaurant culture, our third point would be tipping. Well, I know like it things have changed back in Nepal too, like people start tipping nowadays, but when we got there, I mean when we were here for the first time, it was really shocking of how much people tip. There was times like I worked in restaurant myself and I was tipped more than how much the food was cost, you know? So that was like really, and then when you think about it, it's actually the minimum wage of
Yeah,
like a server is so less that especially in California that you can't make it with
true.
that much. So like tipping is like normalized, I guess.
Hmm. And yeah, like most of my friends who are into the service industry, like the food industry, bartending and stuff like that, they make more on the weekends because people tip more often, like they tip like 25%, 30%. And then I like, like when you're dating someone, it's said that it's not judging, but when you're going out with a guy, then if he tips good, then he's like well-mannered or something. But if he does
Yeah.
not tip the server or waiter, it's not supposed to be, it's a red flag or
Yeah.
something.
But I wouldn't want to serve people who's not going to tip
Yeah,
either.
yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it.
Yeah, they depend on tips like that. So I feel that's the culture here, and you should be tipping your
Yeah. So
servers.
what are your thoughts on like if somebody from Europe or like someone from Asia where tipping is not like, normal thing, they come to United States and then order and then if they don't tip, are like do you think they're supposed to be considered as like, do you think like they should be judged in a way or
Good point. I don't know. I feel like, people have their own way of like tipping in a way, And for example, like whenever I have gone out to restaurants with my friends, if the service is not that good, my friends say, "Oh, you don't tip the waiter, don't tip the waitress because they didn't serve you good." But I feel like it's not, it's also like your nature, So depending on how you are, or depending on how I am, depends on how much you tip. It's not, I mean, tipping, you should tip, because when you're in a new place, you need to be adjusting to the
yeah.
culture. And
Yeah.
I was gonna say respect, but follow the rules, because it feels like the servers and waiters depend on that tip. So, and for the first timers, visitors, it doesn't matter, I guess. But I would not judge. I would be like, oh, I'm still getting paid the minimum wage. So if even if one table does not tip me,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Kind of, just like don't take things personally.
Yeah. All right. So moving on to our next point is snacking in class. What do you have to say about that?
Oh yeah, even like snacking in general, right? Right. I don't know, like it feels like because in Nepal we don't have snacking in class.
No, I
It's
still
supposed to
remember
be
when we were in like class 11 or 12, like, how teacher used to teach and we were so hungry. So we would just try to eat a little bit.
exactly. I was gonna say that.
But yeah, that's how we grew up. Like, that's how it was. I'm pretty sure it still is. But here in the United States, you can actually open a bag of chips in front of your teacher and then start eating it. No one's
Yeah,
going to
or
say
like
anything.
sip on coffee, drink coffee.
I
Uh,
know.
yeah,
That's
back
so, that was
mm,
really shocking to me.
exactly. Or like back then, we used to ask permission, or even yeah, like when you have to use the bathroom. I mean, I guess you need to ask here too, right?
Like a bathroom pass. But I don't think when you're in like university, I never had to. I
No.
just walked out.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should just walk out. That's right. That's right. But that's the other thing. I feel like we grew up learning disciplinary things, like not eating class and not talking,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But then here's like normal,
Yeah.
common.
True. And the next one we have here is eating early dinners.
Mm,
Guys, you'll not believe this. 5 o'clock, people are eating dinner here in the United States.
they are, or like even 4 p.m.
I know this is just too much for me. I can't do it. Back in Nepal, we eat dinner at like what, 8 or 9?
Eight
I
or
think
nine,
like
at
in
most.
my house, it was like 7:30 winter time, 8 o'clock summer. That's how it
Yeah,
was. It has to get dark before we start eating.
exactly.
Here, the sun is like right bright outside, and they're just having their dinner.
Yeah,
That's really shocking. So that was the biggest shock, I would have to say.
I don't know how they don't get hungry, because if I eat dinner right now, I need to eat something at night. Like I need to snack. Exactly. Okay. When my
True.
mom, my like uncle, auntie used to eat dinner at 6:30, whenever I used to go and stay over, I was like, that's too early, because we yeah, eat dinner at like 8 p.m.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's funny. Yeah.
And for the next point, I have smiling at strangers and small talks.
Mm. Or
That is
saying like,
another thing.
yeah, excuse
Imagine us
me.
going back to Nepal now and just looking at their face and just smiling at strangers. Oh God, that's gonna be,
Or like, whenever you're hiking or yeah, going on a walk, and then you see your neighbor and you're supposed to say, hi,
yeah,
how you doing? I'm like, I don't.
exactly.
My husband does, but I'm like, no, I'm like, keep your head
When we
down,
don't
like keep
even
your
know
head
them. So it's like,
down.
okay,
Oh,
that's really, I guess it's nice. It's
nice.
nice that like you're at least acknowledging other person, but it's also weird at the same time. And the shocking part for me is like, like when you say hi to a stranger and they don't reply and they just like start walking away.
Oh yeah,
So
that's
it's
the
kind of really awkward. Like, that you're saying hi and you're not getting hi back. But I feel like I've done that myself too. So it's like, I guess it's normal, but it's
yeah. Or have you ever like gone to a grocery store and then you're picking out something and then so for example, I want cheese and then there's another lady or woman like, you know, on in your way or whatever, and then I feel awkward to like say excuse me and then get my thing and then just go and then
Mhm.
because you never know how that people will react. Because I have encountered some people who are like super nice and like, oh okay, I'm sorry, I'm in your way, and other people are like just rude.
If it was Nepal, they would just push you and get the
Eh,
stuff.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, people say, excuse me when you're supposed to like walk past them, or like, I don't know, please.
Pardon me.
Oh,
Or
pardon me. Mm, excuse- What?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. But that's kind of, I mean, I am kind of awkward in social settings too, like you said, whenever anyone says hi, and then what if they don't, or I don't reply back, or I say hi and they don't reply back because you don't know the person, or like the chemistry, the energy. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So
That's one thing.
that's another big culture shock.
Yeah. And how
And
are you? Go ahead.
go ahead.
And I was like, how are you doing? And then I'm doing good. So what's up? Like even with your neighbors, I don't like when I'm going on a walk and then my neighbors are there, I'm like, don't talk to me, don't talk to me.
Yeah. It's like you know them, but you don't know them at the same
Yeah.
time, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're your neighbors.
I try
You
to avoid
like
them.
hi. Yeah, but then you don't know them. Like you don't even do you know your neighbor's name?
No.
See, I don't know either,
I
but I
only know
know
one.
her. Like we talk almost every day. Like in the evenings when I go out, we see each other. Like she's in her patio, I'm on my patio. Like we see each other, but we don't know our names. It's very weird. If
Sure.
it was Nepal, we know. We even
Yeah.
know 10 houses down who's
Yeah.
lived there
Everything.
and
Everything. Like
have
it's really
been to their
good.
house before. It's
Yeah.
like,
If you're
yeah, it's
going
very
groceries and the
different.
aunties will be like, oh, where are you going, Nanny? Like, what are
Mhm.
you up to? Mm.
And then you go out and everybody else knows.
Oh, yes,
Like,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
your whole community knows that you went out. It's like, okay.
Especially since we're girls, if we went out with guys, then they'll be like, oh, yeah.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, everybody knows. Yeah.
yeah, everybody knows like, oh, she's dating this
Have
guy.
you ever been in this situation that everyone knows that you went out with a boy, but you yourself don't know that you went out with that boy?
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
exactly. Or
Hmm.
like your parents don't know, and your parents will come on like, she said you were out with a boy.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Yeah, okay, so distracted. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
next point I have here is tax not being included.
exactly.
That is the worst thing ever.
Especially as like we are not from here, and then like as someone who does not know how to handle finances, or was not taught about money in Nepal,
Mhm.
and then coming here and then learning that taxes are not included, and on top of that we have to pay taxes. So
Exactly. And what I think is confusing is like when we go to the store, like the prices that you see on the stuff, it's different when you go to the counter because tax is not added in there. So a $5 noodle, let's say it's a $5 noodle, you go to the counter, you try to pay it off, it's like almost six. So
exactly,
that bothers me so much. And the
me
fact
too.
that like every state has different, different like systems,
Rate.
different rates, that is like the worst thing ever. Imagine first you come to, let's say Minnesota, where there's no state tax, right? You see
There's
the
no state tax in
price.
Minnesota?
Yeah, there are like a couple of states that have like no tax at all.
I didn't know that.
So let's say you come to Minnesota, you buy a piece of like a bread for $5, it is going to be $5. Imagine them coming here in California, you're paying 9%. And that's like, not everybody's going to know, So it's kind of like very, different.
Yeah, or like even going out, you go out to a restaurant and then they add taxes and then
Mhm.
tips, and then you have to like calculate, how much are you going to pay. Especially when we went to Hawaii, the tax is like really low than California. So whenever we do our dining out, it was covered in like $50, like with drinks, with dessert and everything. But here, no. Yeah. I was
Infectious
shocked.
disease, please. What do you get? Oh my God, can't
Okay.
even think.
What do you do it?
Yeah. The next thing that was very what I thought was very different was how health insurance work. Back in Nepal, I never knew health insurance existed. I knew life
Mhm.
insurance
Life
was there,
insurance.
but I never had an idea there was an insurance for health, like everyday health issues. Because like if you're sick, you just go to the hospital or like a clinic, you get checked up, get medicine, and then that used to be it. But here, there's a health insurance that you have to get. You pay monthly for it, and then certain stuffs are covered and certain stuffs are not. So
True.
to be very honest, it's kind of useful in a way if you are like low income, I would say.
Mhm.
Because like let's say you have a job and your job provides health insurance and you just have to pay copay. So which does help if you are like in a low income, low income family of such kind. But at the same time, it like just for a simple checkup, like just for fever, I wouldn't want to pay copay either, right?
Yeah,
But that's kind of like, I don't know, it's just very different. And then sometimes it feels like it's not worth it.
true. Like prescription to medicine and sometimes, okay, I don't know if this was shocking to you because some of the insurances don't cover like major surgery and then the eye
Yeah, it's
optometry
separate. So health insurance is just
yeah,
for your health. Apparently, eyes, teeth, they
dental.
don't go in there. There's like a separate insurance that you have to get, which is very weird,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're
So
already paying
yeah.
like $50 a month for the coverage, and plus you have to pay copay again. It's like if you don't have a
And
job, then dental work, mm-mm.
no, yeah. I had to like pay my own wisdom tooth surgery when I did it like 2 years ago. And my mom was like, "Why did you spend so much? Why didn't you come here and do it?" I'm like, "Mom, it was so painful, and I had to get it done like the next day or like tomorrow, like as early as possible."
Yeah.
But yeah, and you wear glasses too, so I don't know how long have you gone without checking up your eyes.
So luckily my job provides insurance.
That's
So
good.
I'm okay on that part, but I feel for people like, especially for international students who just come here. The insurance provided by university is so bad, it doesn't cover anything. And it's
Oh
just the
yeah,
health
I
insurance.
understand.
Like
Yeah.
there's no insurance for your optics, there's no insurance for your dental, nothing. It is
Yeah,
really
yeah,
tough for them.
same.
And not everybody's gonna know how to use it either.
Nope.
That's a very new subject in general, right?
Yeah, you have to Google and then the customer service like takes a while, to like get
When
connected.
yeah, when I first like when I first had my health insurance, I didn't even know like is health insurance and hospital the same thing? Like, do I have to find a hospital with the same name? Or how is that going to work? How do I find a clinic? It's, how here, like, you have to get a primary physician first. Like, if you
Yeah.
have like something that but no, you have to go see a primary physician first and you have to be referred by them. So
Yes, yes.
that is very time consuming,
It
especially
is.
with COVID around. It is so difficult to get an appointment and everything. Oh my God.
Mhm.
We have to make another episode, especially
I know.
to
We're like
criticize the
going
health
deep into
insurance
this.
here.
Oh, I like it. But that's right. So, yeah,
Yeah, in general, I do not like health insurance.
me too. I heard Canada's is better, but the
Yeah,
health
there was
care
this
system.
TikTok video that I watched. So this lady had a baby. She spent 26,000. Well, she didn't have all the health insurance, but it was the total price was 26,000. So
Wow.
that's how bad the health system is in United States.
Yeah. And we're
Imagine
not trying to,
how are
yeah.
you going to pay that much? That's just too much. It's like a
Exactly.
down
There's like
payment for your house.
way disparity, like low income and middle income or high income and the health insurance that they provide,
Mhm.
which I hope the government will solve soon. Yeah, but I don't know, it's just our opinions, right? And how we were shocked by the health insurance system in the United States or healthcare in general. Yeah. Mm. So what's our next point? I'm trying to look at my notes.
I think that's all I have actually.
Or like, okay, last one, I don't know, like college and uni life. I mean, it's like, I don't know, because back in Nepal, like college is supposed to be grade 11 and 12, and here,
Mm.
it's called university
High
or
school.
like high school. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
high school, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt that was another shock to us. But yeah, that was it. Just short and sweet about our experiences of like what culture shock meant to us and what we experienced as like when we first moved to the United States. If you guys have any other experiences of moving to US or another country in Europe or anywhere in general, feel free to add in the comments in YouTube. This is going to be posted in YouTube. And then also don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and any feedback is appreciated, of course. But yes, that's the episode where we talk about our experiences of moving abroad. Thank you so much. And do you have anything else to add, Ashmita?
No, thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, stay tuned for next episode.